In the wake of claims that the federal government has abandoned revenue payment system Remita, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation has clarified that the payment platform has not been discarded. Instead, Remita will be integrated into the newly developed Treasury Management and Revenue Assurance System for government revenue collection and remittances. Well, in a statement, the Accountant General Oluwatoyin Madein explained that the new system will go live from March 4, and that's today, and that it will streamline and enhance the collection as well as management of government revenues across ministries, departments, and agencies. The Accountant General says Remita, which is a long-standing secure payment solution, will continue to operate alongside other Central Bank of Nigeria licensed payment solution service providers.
Right, we're joined now by the Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwatoyin Madein. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight tonight. Well, an important clarification that we're just getting from that intro, that Remita will not be discarded. But tell us exactly why it has become necessary to replace Remita with TIMRAS. That's, Treasury Management and Revenue Assurance System. Why has it become necessary to replace Remita? And is this going to be in phases, or is it going to be in one fell swoop?
Good evening, and thank you for this very important question and the interest shown by the Arise News in things that has to do with the financial management of the federal government. The essence of bringing in the treasury management and revenue assurance system is what I will first identify. It's just a way of democratize the treasury management and remove monopoly from the system. The monopoly in the sense that over the years, Remita has been the only gateway that the central bank has been using to manage the finance management. But going forward from here, Remita will still be playing that part, while other gateway providers, payment solution service providers will also be part of it. We have lots of them like Intrasat, like Interswitch, the Paystack, the Flutterwave. They will all have a level playing ground to participate, provided they are licensed by the CBN. So it is not true that the Remita is being discarded. It's just to expand the players in the system. Thank you.
Madam, we are told that they will run concurrently for the next 2 months. Further clarification, what happens after 2 months? What happens to Remita after 2 months? And I also wanted to ask, because looking at some of the features that has been put out by the TIMRAS, it enforces automatic tax deductions on payment. Does this mean that the government has been losing tax? There's been a lot of tax evasion with other payment systems?
Not really, that the government has been losing tax payments. But it's just to improve on it, because there are certain situations where maybe the current system may not have been, like for stamp duty purpose. The stamp duty was introduced lately, so the system has not been able to capture the computation of it automatically. But with the treasury management and revenue assurance system, that is already there, so it will be yielding the kind of result expected from tax deductions. The first question is on what becomes of the system after 2 months. It is expected that the enrollment of these additional payment solution service providers will run for some time, because they have to go through a process, like we have to verify the CBN has to be already licensed PSSP, and we have to go through a process, get them onboarded, and also be able to run well with all the federal government ministry, departments, and agencies, and also the federal government owned enterprises. So the process is that from now onward till the next 2 months, Remita will be still be playing that role while other PSSP are being enrolled. So it is expected by the end of 2 months, all this will have been completed and the system will continue to run seamlessly with all the payment solution providers being on the board. Thank you.
Right. If I got you correctly, what you're saying is that there'll be multiple revenue collectors for government alongside Team RAS. Is that what you're saying? And then this 2 or 3 months window that you're giving, is it enough, for this migration to happen seamlessly as you have described? I mean, I'm wondering how long this idea really has been in process, that you've come up with this, and it's just 2-3 months, to migrate to Team RAS.
Well, the system development has commenced long before now. It was expected to have even started operating for some months, but due to some logistics, it is just been brought to that stage now. So it is expected that within the 2 months window, all the processes of bringing in the other providers will be completed. But as naturally, when running a system, especially with the new system, it will continue to go through review. If at the end of the 2 months we couldn't achieve the set target, definitely there will be an extension, because it cannot lock out any licensed players that are ready and meet the conditions necessary to operate within the space.
I don't know if you're disposed to telling us how much development of this system costs, madam, but the question really is, we've transitioned so much from the era of GFIS, if you remember, then to Remita, and now to Team RAS. How do you explain to Nigerians and convince them that this is a permanent fix and not just another transition to an expensive development of payment system?
Oh, let me clarify that GiveBiz is a separate system. It is not, there is no transition between GiveBiz and Remita and Team RAS. GiveBiz, that is Government Integrated Financial Management Information System, is a system that is only the payment for all the budgetary provisions. It handles every payment that has to do with a budget. That is, because the budget, it handles the budgeting and budget execution, while the Team RAS is just a collation or a system that put together all the treasury single accounts that are for non-budgetary activities of MDAs and FGOEs. So there are two separate systems that we are expecting that in future they will handshake and they will become one. Thank you.
And I'm wondering, I mean, how exactly will this new payment system check corruption in the public sector? I mean, will it be fully automated, or is it going to eliminate, manual, or the issuance of manual mandates?
Exactly. The system will eliminate the use of manual mandates to effect payments and also to do some other transactions. That is the one particular benefit of this Team RAS. And saying that whether it costs so much, in fact, we found out that the cost, because I came into the Office of Accountant General in May 2023, and I met the system already. I mean, the system already being developed. So it is not even newly conceived or contracted, but it has been there. We are just bringing it to a successful completion for its deployment to enhance the payment system and the collection of revenue, which is expected that the Team RAS at the Office of Accountant General, at the Federal Ministry of Finance, like a Minister of Finance, we have direct visibility, access to see and follow up on the financial transactions that are happening on the system, and it will give visibility that is required to be able to take a holistic decision on federal government, MDAs and FGOE financial activities.
Well, we did ask you, let me just bring this in. We asked you, why Remita is being, changed for this Team RAS. And I'm wondering what exactly has become of the investigation or probe, if you like, of alleged revenue losses through the Remita platform. I mean, it was supposed to set up, it was actually set up to power, the federal government's treasury single account, the well-known TSA. What has become of that probe?
I want to assure Nigerians that any probe ongoing on Remita activities, we can definitely continue. It cannot be stopped.
Right, but what exactly were the findings that led to the probe? What were the specific things that you found on the Remita platform, that led to the probe?
We say that the issue that must have led to the probe didn't happen when I came into the office, and it is not even something that we have on the table here. So if there is any, like I mentioned, it will definitely not stop it. But I cannot readily say precisely what are the real issues, because since my assumption of duty, we don't have such challenge, except few ones that we have been able to locate the actual culprits, probably where the system, those that are in MDAs that are handling one transaction or the other, decided to compromise or to do something different. But and those ones too, the probe into those activities have been, because we found a situation where officers in some MDAs decided to play a fast one on the system, but it's an officer that have the access, not that he doesn't have access, because like we said, the system is well secured, so it doesn't allow much of that to happen, and that is why we have been having a space around the system for some time. But where such happens, the probe, because the matter even went up to the ICPC, and the culprits have been brought to book and have been made to refund, and also face other proceedings that follow such.
And just before I let you go, I wanted to speak on the TSA. There have been concerns raised that the TSA is not as functioning as it should be, as ministry, departments, and agencies have not been remitting into the TSA. Can you speak to Nigerians today and convince them that the TSA is actually what it's supposed to be doing as the treasury single account of the government?
The treasury single account is just an account, but has several sub-accounts for all the MDAs and FGOEs, and even each MDA still have different accounts for different services, so that the payers will not be mixing up this when paying for services. So it is a robust system, and whatever it is, the TSA is still remaining TSA, because they are all accounts with the Central Bank of Nigeria, and they are all running perfectly well. The only few issues that we have observed is where there are some activities that have to do with non-governmental organizations, foreign donors, international receiving international grants, because some of these are coming in foreign denominated currencies. So these are, and while managing this, those agencies came up with some issues, like where they will not be able to access the accounts on time, and which is running against the dictate of the donors. So, and when these were reviewed, we have to even write to the president to ask for their exit from TSA. That is the research organizations that are receiving donors, and the president approved that, and now they are all operating their accounts with the commercial banks that are suitable to handle them based on the conditions that the donors have prescribed. So it is not that the TSA has any problem, but it is just to make things easier, and it makes the entire system to become one, because with TSA we can easily determine the revenue inflows and the outflows without much problem.
All right, we'll have to...
Okay, let me just ask you, I do apologize, I know I said that was going to be the last question. There are also concerns about cyber attacks and data protection. In this age of increased cyber attacks, there are those who say a lot of back ends of these systems are not in Nigeria and the government does not have control of them. Do you have any such concerns moving to this platform, Madam Accountant General?
Well, that's a very great concern that we all also have. But over time, we are currently the issue of cybercrime or security on the system is non-existing. If they even exist, it's very, very rare. But that doesn't mean that we will continue. We will be resting on ours. We are encouraging even Nigerian system developers and providers that have better solutions to come up. If they're able to come out with proposals that will make us to discontinue with the patronage of foreign system designers and providers, and we can rely on the Nigerian system designer, we will definitely adopt that.
Okay, well, we know we said the last question. Another one, last question. I mean, you're retiring this week as Accountant General of the Federation. What would you say have been your key achievements, and what advice would you have for the incoming Accountant General?
Thank you for this very last question. And I want to say that there are so many I can talk about, but for this purpose, I want to say that what my achievements so far in this office, especially as I'm rounding up as the Accountant General of the Federation, is stick to the mantra of accountability and transparency by following and comply with the financial rules, the regulations, all the laws that are in place to support and manage the public finance of the federal government. So I will equally advise my successor to follow the same path, to ensure that this word accountability and transparency are written on his chest, to follow and ensure that rules guiding the public finance management are well complied with. And with that, God will see us through. Thank you.
Well, we do wish you the best in your future endeavors. Madam Oluwatoyin Shakirat Madein is the outgoing Accountant General of the Federation in Nigeria. Thank you so much for being on Newsnight.